All right, so let's jump into this deep dive. And today we are going to be tackling the world of moving.
Okay.
Not your move, but the career of a mover.
Right.
And you were able to share some great resources with me from RoleCatcher, like career guides and interview guides.
Yes.
We're going to unpack all that juicy info and hopefully help you crush that upcoming interview.
That's the goal.
Okay, so but before we even get to the interview questions, can you just kind of paint a picture for me of what a mover actually does?
Yeah, so movers, they do all things moving. So we're talking disassembling furniture, carefully packing boxes, to securing items for transport, loading and unloading the trucks, and then even reassembling and installing furniture once they get to that new location.
Wow.
It's pretty physically demanding work, often involving indoor and outdoor environments, and sometimes, some challenging weather conditions as well.
Yeah.
But it's also a job that requires a lot of communication and collaboration because you're always interacting with customers and other team members.
Yeah, you got to be a people person.
You do.
Okay, cool. So it's not just about brawn. It's about brains and people skills, too.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of these interview questions.
Okay.
What's the first one that we should tackle?
Okay, so let's start with a classic. Why do you want to work as a marama?
Okay.
Seems simple, but this can really set the tone for the entire interview.
Right, because you don't want to just say, I need a job.
Exactly. You want to go beyond the obvious and show genuine interest in the work itself. So think about what aspects of the job really appeal to you. Do you enjoy the physical work? Are you a team player? Do you like that environment? Are you drawn to the problem-solving aspects? Or maybe you just find satisfaction in helping people during a stressful time.
Right.
It can be a really stressful time.
Yeah, that's a good point. So you're really connecting your personal motivations with the demands of this role.
Exactly. And interviewers can really tell when you're just reciting those generic answers.
Oh, yeah.
They want to see your authenticity and your enthusiasm.
I feel like that's where RoleCatcher's AI could come in handy. I remember reading about their AI-powered feedback feature.
Yes, so with RoleCatcher, you can actually practice your answers and get that AI-powered feedback tailored to the specific job description. So the AI is going to analyze your response, assess your tone clarity, and even suggest improvements based on what the interviewers are looking for in that mover candidate.
Wow. So it's like having a personal interview coach.
It is.
At your fingertips.
Awesome.
At your fingertips.
Okay, let's move on to the next interview question. What do you have for us?
Okay, so this one is all about your experience. What experience do you have in the moving industry?
Okay.
Now, you might be thinking, oh, I've never actually worked for a moving company before.
Right.
But even if you don't have that formal experience, you can still highlight those relevant skills.
So how would you spin it if you hadn't officially worked as a mover? Think about any experiences that you've had that demonstrate, organization or attention to detail or physical stamina. Have you helped friends or family move? Have you organized and packed things efficiently for a trip or a move? Maybe you participated in activities that require teamwork and coordination.
Okay, so even if it's not formal work experience, you can still frame it in a way that showcases your abilities.
Yes.
I like that. Okay, what's the next question on our list?
Okay, so this one is about organization, a very common question. How do you stay organized when moving multiple items at once?
Ooh.
This is your chance to shine and demonstrate those organizational superpowers.
Right, because a move can be chaos if you're not careful.
Absolutely. So think about your process. Do you use checklists to keep track of everything? Do you have a labeling system so you can identify all the boxes? Do you employ any mental strategies to stay focused and organized? The key here is to explain your methods clearly and concisely so they know that you can handle all those logistical demands of this job.
Yeah, and I bet interviewers really like when people are proactive and take the initiative to stay organized.
Absolutely, because it shows them that you're thinking ahead, you're anticipating problems, and you're taking steps to prevent them.
And this ties back to RoleCatcher's AI capabilities, right?
Yes. Their platform can actually analyze the specific skills mentioned in the job description and then help you tailor your resume and your cover letter to highlight those key areas.
That's so smart. It's like having a personalized resume assistant.
It is.
That's awesome. Okay, let's keep this momentum going. What's the next interview question we should tackle?
Okay, so this one is all about handling those precious belongings.
Right.
How do you handle difficult or fragile items during a move?
Okay.
It's a crucial question because it shows those interviewers that you understand the importance of care and attention to detail.
Right, because no one wants their grandma's antique vase to end up broken.
Exactly. So you're going to walk them through your process. How do you approach packing delicate items? What specific techniques do you use to secure them and ensure their safe transport? Do you have any experience with special handling techniques or any protective materials?
Yes, you're not just going to check everything in a box.
Yeah,
You're really thinking about how to best protect everything and minimize damage.
exactly. And don't be afraid to get specific. Mentioning things like double boxing with cushioning or using specialized moving blankets for artwork can really show that knowledge and attention to detail.
Okay, I'm taking notes. What's the next question we should prepare for?
Okay, so this one's a biggie when it comes to safety. What safety precautions do you take when moving heavy items?
Yeah.
Interviewers are paying very close attention to this one because safety is paramount in this job.
Right. It's not just about protecting the items. It's about protecting yourselves as well.
Exactly. So this is your chance to showcase your commitment to following those safety protocols. Explain how you use proper lifting techniques, like using your legs, not your back, and keeping that load close to your body.
Right. What about equipment?
Yes. Mention how you would utilize equipment like dollies or straps and furniture sliders to move those heavy objects safely and efficiently. And then also highlight the importance of teamwork. Explain how you would communicate and coordinate with your team members to safely lift and move heavy items.
This all makes me think back to the RoleCatcher AI feedback feature. Could you use that to practice your answers to these safety-related questions?
Absolutely. RoleCatcher's AI analyzes your responses and provides targeted feedback on how to improve your delivery and emphasize those key safety points that those interviewers are listening for. It's like having a virtual safety supervisor guiding you.
That's awesome. Okay, let's keep rolling. What's the next question on our interview prep list?
Okay, so this one focuses on the all-important customer interaction. How do you communicate with the customer during a move? Remember, moving can be a stressful experience for people, so that clear and empathetic communication is absolutely key.
Right, because a friendly and efficient mover can really turn a stressful move into a smooth one.
Absolutely.
So explain how you keep those customers informed throughout the process. Are you providing regular updates on the move's progress? How do you address those questions and concerns clearly and patiently? What strategies do you use to handle any unexpected issues or delays that might arise?
And any previous customer service experience would be really valuable to mention here.
Absolutely, because it shows that you understand the importance of that customer satisfaction and have the skills to provide a positive experience.
Okay, I'm starting to feel more confident already. What other interview questions should we be prepared for?
All right, so let's talk time management. A common question is, how do you manage time during a move to ensure that everything is completed within that expected time frame?
Ooh, this one feels like it's all about efficiency and problem solving under pressure. It is. Movers need to be able to work efficiently, prioritize those tasks, and adapt to those changing circumstances. Talk about your time management skills. How do you create a realistic schedule? How do you handle unexpected delays or challenges? How do you prioritize those tasks to make sure everything gets done on time?
Right, so staying calm and focused and solutions-oriented even when things get hectic.
Absolutely. And you know, one thing that stood out to me from RoleCatcher's career guide was this emphasis on continuous learning.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
So the moving industry is constantly evolving. There's new technologies, techniques, safety regulations emerging all the time. To stay ahead of the curve and advance your career, it's important to be a lifelong learner.
Oh, that makes total sense. So how can someone stay up to date and enhance their skills then?
There's a ton of resources out there, like online courses, unpacking techniques, safety regulations, transportation management. You could also seek out those professional development opportunities offered by moving companies or industry associations.
So it's about investing in yourself and your skills to stay competitive and open up new opportunities.
Exactly. And this is another area where RoleCatcher can be a really valuable resource because their platform can help you identify relevant training programs and connect you with industry resources.
Oh, they really thought of everything.
They did.
Okay, back to those interview questions. What else should we be prepared for?
Okay, let's talk teamwork and conflict resolution. A common question is, how do you handle conflicts with team members during a move?
Okay.
Conflict is bound to happen sometimes, especially in a fast-paced and physically demanding environment.
Right.
So you want to show that you can handle these conflicts respectfully and professionally, focusing on those solutions and that teamwork. Explain how you would address disagreements directly, how you would listen to your team members' perspectives, and how you would work together to find a resolution that benefits everybody.
So you're a team player who can navigate those difficult situations with maturity and focus on finding that common ground.
Precisely. You're not going to let personal conflicts derail the entire move or create a negative work environment.
Awesome. All right, what other interview questions should we have in our arsenal?
Okay, so let's talk about protecting those belongings again. A common question is, what steps do you take to ensure that items are not damaged during a move?
Okay.
Again, attention to detail is key.
Right, because a mover's reputation is built on their ability to handle belongings with care.
Exactly. So reiterate your commitment to handling those items with care. Explain your process for packing, securing, and transporting the items to prevent damage. Mention specific techniques you use, like wrapping fragile items in bubble wrap or using furniture pads to protect those surfaces. And don't forget to emphasize the importance of communication both with your team members and the customer to ensure that everybody's on the same page and aware of those special handling instructions.
So you're showcasing your meticulous approach.
Yes.
Okay, I think we're on a roll. What's the next question on our list?
Okay, this one puts the customer front and center. How do you prioritize customer satisfaction during a move? So we've talked about customer service throughout, but this one really gives you the opportunity to shine.
Right, because at the end of the day, it's all about providing a positive and stress-free experience for the customer.
Exactly. So you want to emphasize your dedication to going above and beyond to ensure that customer satisfaction. Talk about how you keep those customers informed, how you address their concerns promptly and professionally, and how you strive to make that move as smooth and seamless as possible.
So you're not just there to move boxes. You're there to provide a service.
Yes.
And make the customer's life easier.
Exactly. And that positive customer experience often translates into those positive reviews and referrals, which are really valuable for a moving company.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've tackled 10 common mover interview questions, and we've given insight on how to approach them effectively. And we even weaved in some career insights and how RoleCatcher's AI can help prepare and stand out from the competition.
Yes, prepare, showcase those skills, and demonstrate your passion for the work.
Exactly. But before we move on, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. We've talked about how to answer common questions, but what about those curveball questions? The ones that really test your critical thinking skills.
Yes, the ones that make you think on your feet.
Exactly. So for all of you future movers out there, here's a scenario to ponder.
Okay.
Imagine you're on a move, and you encounter a narrow doorway that a large piece of furniture just won't fit through.
Oh,
How would you approach that situation?
that's a great question. It requires problem-solving, creative thinking, and effective communication.
Exactly. So think about it. How would you assess the situation? What options would you consider? How would you communicate with your team and the customer to find the best solution?
It's a real-world challenge that movers face, and your ability to handle it effectively can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So put on your thinking caps, future movers.
Yes.
We're going to discuss the scenario in more detail in the next segment.
Yes, we are.
But for now, keep those mental gears turning. And we'll be right back after a quick break to delve even deeper into the world of moving.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of movers. Before we ventured off, we left you with a real head-scratcher. How do you handle a large piece of furniture that just won't fit through a doorway?
Right, that's a classic moving dilemma that can really put your problem-solving skills to the test.
So let's break it down. What are the key things that you as a potential mover should be thinking about in this situation?
Well, first and foremost, safety has to be the top priority. You don't want to risk injuring yourself or your team members or damaging the furniture or the surrounding environment.
Absolutely. Assessing the situation calmly and thoroughly is crucial.
Right. You really need to take a step back and evaluate those dimensions of the furniture and the doorway and consider all the possible options before jumping into any action.
Exactly. And this is where that clear and open communication with your team is really important. Brainstorming together and leveraging everyone's experience can lead to the best solutions.
Yeah, maybe someone's encountered a similar situation before and they have some trick up their sleeve.
Precisely. Now, have you ever had to disassemble furniture for a move?
You know, I haven't personally, but I've seen movers do it with amazing efficiency. They just seem to have a knack for taking things apart and putting them back together seamlessly.
It definitely comes with experience, and in this scenario, disassembling the furniture, if possible, might be the most viable option.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, by removing legs or detaching shelves or separating those modular components, you could potentially reduce the overall size of that piece and make it much easier to maneuver through that doorway.
Exactly. But before you start taking things apart, it's crucial to carefully inspect the furniture and identify any delicate parts or intricate mechanisms that might require special attention.
Right. You don't want to accidentally snap a fragile piece or strip a screw while you're trying to disassemble it.
Absolutely. And communication is key here too. Make sure you inform the customer about the need to disassemble the furniture and explain the process clearly.
Yeah, transparency and reassurance can really go a long way in easing their concerns, especially when it comes to their valuable belongings.
You hit the nail on the head. Now, let's say disassembling the furniture isn't an option, either because of its design or time constraints. What other strategies could you explore?
Well, I imagine tilting and rotating the furniture could help in some cases. By carefully maneuvering the piece at different angles, you might find a sweet spot that allows it to pass through the doorway.
That's a clever approach, and it really highlights the importance of spatial awareness and creative problem solving in this job.
It's like solving a 3D puzzle.
Exactly. And remember, teamwork is essential here. Having multiple people working together, coordinating their movements, and providing clear directions can make all the difference when maneuvering a large piece of furniture.
And don't forget about those trusty moving tools.
Right. Furniture sliders, dollies, straps can be your best friends in these situations. They help reduce friction, provide leverage, and make it so much easier to control the movement of heavy objects.
This all makes me think about having a well-stocked toolkit and knowing how to use everything.
It does, and it reminds me of another valuable insight from RoleCatcher's Career Guide, the importance of continuous learning in the moving industry.
Oh, right. You mentioned that earlier. Can you elaborate on why it's so crucial?
Absolutely. The moving industry is always evolving, with new techniques, technologies, safety regulations emerging all the time. To stay ahead of the curve and provide the best service to your customers, it's essential to invest in that ongoing professional development.
So how can aspiring movers stay up to date with the latest industry trends and those best practices?
There's so many resources available. You can find online courses, workshops, certifications that cover everything from packing techniques and furniture handling to safety protocols and customer service skills.
Wow, so there's always something new to learn and a way to enhance your expertise.
Yeah. Exactly. And this ties back to our earlier discussion about acing those interview questions. By demonstrating your commitment to continuous learning and staying informed about those industry advancements, you can really impress potential employers.
That's a great point. It really shows initiative, dedication, and a genuine passion for the craft.
And remember, resources like RoleCatcher can help you stay ahead of the curve by providing access to industry insights, training opportunities, and those AI-powered tools that can refine your skills and tailor your application to specific job requirements.
It's like having a personalized career coach and a knowledge hub all in one day. Okay, so we've tackled the narrow doorway dilemma and explored some creative solutions. What other unexpected challenges might a mover encounter on the job?
Well, think about the dynamic nature of the work. You're often dealing with heavy objects, navigating those tight spaces, working in various environments, interacting with all sorts of people. There's always potential for the unexpected.
Right, so flexibility and adaptability are key.
Exactly. You might encounter those unexpected traffic delays, face challenging weather conditions, need to maneuver furniture up a narrow staircase, or even deal with difficult or uncooperative customers.
So how can a mover really be prepared for those kinds of challenges?
Yeah.
What are some essential skills and qualities that can help them navigate these situations successfully?
I'd say problem-solving communication and a positive attitude are at the top of the list. Let's break each of those down.
Okay, let's start with problem solving. What does that look like in the context of moving?
It's about being resourceful, thinking creatively, and finding solutions on the fly.
Welcome back. When we first started this deep dive into the world of movers, I thought we were just going to be focusing on those interview questions.
Right.
But we've really unpacked so much more than that.
We have. We've really explored the day-to-day realities of being a mover, the challenges and rewards, and even considered those career paths and entrepreneurial possibilities.
And we can't forget the impact of technology on this industry.
Absolutely. Before we took a pause, we left our listeners with this thought. How is technology changing the game for movers?
That's a fascinating question because technology is touching every aspect of our lives these days.
Yeah.
What about in the moving industry?
Just like many other fields, technology is revolutionizing the way people move.
Okay.
It's making the process more efficient, transparent, and, dare I say, even more enjoyable.
Okay, I'm all ears. Give me some concrete examples of how technology is shaking things up.
So on the customer side, we're seeing this surge in online platforms and apps that simplify the entire moving experience.
Okay.
Think of it like booking a ride share, but for your entire household.
Oh, wow.
Customers can easily compare prices from different moving companies. They can read reviews, schedule their move with a few taps on their phone, and even track their belongings in real time.
That real-time tracking sounds like a game changer for peace of mind. I know I'd be much less stressed knowing where my stuff was during the move.
It's a huge benefit for customers and moving companies because customers feel more in control and informed, and moving companies can optimize their logistics, manage those bookings, and enhance that overall transparency.
So technology is creating a win-win situation for everyone involved. What other cool tech advancements are making their way into this industry?
Well, on the operational side, robotics and automation are stepping in to make the physical aspects of moving safer and more efficient.
Robots. That sounds so futuristic.
It does. Imagine robots that can effortlessly lift and carry those heavy objects. They can navigate stairs and tight spaces and even pack boxes with meticulous care.
Wow, those robots sound like they could be a mover's best friend. But does this mean that human movers are being replaced?
Not at all. It's more about collaboration and enhancing those human capabilities.
Okay.
These robots are designed to assist movers, not replace them. They can help reduce the risk of injuries for the human workers, speed up that moving process, and minimize that potential for damage to belongings.
So it's all about working smarter, not harder. What other technological innovations are we seeing?
We're also seeing the integration of GPS tracking and sensors to monitor the location and condition of trucks and belongings in real time.
Okay.
This adds another layer of security and transparency to that moving process.
It's like having a digital guardian angel watching over your move every step of the way.
I love that analogy. And it's not just about robots and sensors. Virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, are also entering the moving industry, particularly for training purposes.
Okay, no, that's really cool. How does that work?
So imagine a mover putting on a VR headset and being immersed in this virtual environment where they can practice different moving scenarios like navigating a narrow staircase with a heavy sofa or packing fragile items.
It's like a flight simulator, but for moving.
Exactly. And that VR and AR training can help movers enhance their skills, build confidence, and familiarize themselves with those safety protocols in a safe and controlled environment.
It's incredible to see how technology is transforming the moving industry from top to bottom, making it safer, more efficient, and more customer-centric.
It's an exciting time to be a part of this industry.
Yeah.
And this is just the beginning. As technology continues to evolve, we can expect even more groundbreaking advancements in the years to come.
I can't wait to see what the future holds. We've come full circle in this conversation. We started with those interview questions, and now we're talking about the future of the moving industry.
Right. It's all interconnected, and it really underscores that importance of adaptability and continuous learning in any career field, but especially in one as dynamic as moving.
Absolutely. To thrive in today's rapidly changing world, you need to embrace change, stay ahead of the curve, and always be willing to learn and grow.
The moving industry is a prime example of how technology can transform a traditional field, creating those new possibilities and challenges.
Well, I think it's safe to say we've moved mountains of knowledge in this deep dive.
Yes.
We've covered the ins and outs of the mover role, from those essential interview questions to the exciting technological advancements shaping the industry.
It's been a comprehensive journey, and I hope our listeners feel empowered and informed.
Me too. So whether you're considering a career as a mover or just curious about how technology is changing the world around us, we hope you found this deep dive both insightful and inspiring.
And remember, resources like RoleCatcher are there to support you every step of the way, from prepping for that crucial interview to navigating those exciting possibilities that lie ahead.
That's right. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.
Happy moving!